This woman was so right about what they trying to do. Pay attention. Pay attention. Good Saturday morning. Man, this woman was telling the exact truth on this YouTube. Hold on. We're gonna pull it up. Cause y'all gotta hear what she got to say. Because she was telling the truth. She was telling the exact truth of what is going on with white people. They got issues. It's like a psychological problem. Racism needs to be diagnosed as a mental illness because they are mentally ill. Hmm.
Purposely go to get rid of your workforce and not have a backup plan for the people that you are getting rid of, especially if your business is relying on that workforce. Your hatred can't be that blinding and that overwhelming that you can't think about your bottom line, especially when it comes to your businesses. Some of these farms have been in those people's homes, have been in those people's families for over 300 years. You can't tell me you did not think about who is going to come in and replace these vital workers for your survival. One thing I do keep thinking back on is Trump kept saying during this campaign that the illegals were here stealing the blacks' jobs. He just kept harping on the black job, and everybody was like, what the hell is a black job? Well, this is just my perspective, or it's just my thought.
Girl, it's everybody's
I'm
thought.
thinking that the Virginians and all the rest of the people who were depending on illegal immigrants for their labor, they kept hearing Trump saying that the black people jobs were being taken. I'm thinking in their minds, they were hearing Trump saying the black people are going to come back to those jobs. In my mind, I'm thinking they were hearing Trump say the black people are going to replace all those immigrants out in the fields and on the farms and all of that. I'm thinking that's what they were hearing. That's why they weren't messed up about voting to get rid of their illegal immigrants. They were thinking that the black people were going to step up and take those jobs back because Trump kept saying these illegal immigrants are stealing the blacks' jobs. And therefore, in their mind, they heard we were getting our 1800 slaves back.
Yep. Exactly.
They had to have thought that their backup plan, Trump was going to miraculously, somehow, magically put all the black people back out in those fields, on those farms, and they were going to continue to get their work done. Now, that's just my thinking.
And
Because
that's a bunch
you
of
cannot
BS.
tell me that you, as a business owner,
We
would
did our
get
time.
rid of your workforce
Mm-hmm.
and not have a backup plan. You are not going to knowingly and willingly walk into a bankruptcy, walk into losing your business, walk into losing your farms that have been in your family for 300 years unless you thought there was a backup plan.
Yep.
And the backup plan was supposed to be the blacks. That's why y'all ran out there and voted against your best interest. Because when you heard Donald Trump said they were stealing the blacks' jobs,
Yep.
y'all in your twisted mind thought that the
Yep.
blacks were going to magically appear back in those positions.
White people
The
something.
blacks were just going to be coming
I don't
from
know what,
everywhere
but they
to
something.
take on those positions.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have thought that. Because y'all not gonna tell me that in your minds you were okay with losing your livelihoods, that you didn't have a backup plan to come in after the immigrants would be deported. You can't convince me that people who own those farms and worked on those farms, you cannot tell me that that you looked out there and saw your workforce, and you know what your workforce is made up of,
Mm-hmm.
and you purposely went out there and said, yeah, get rid of all of them with no backup plan. You know what it takes to run your farms. You know how many people it takes to run your farms. There's no way you got rid of all of those people and did not expect to have somebody to come in and pick up the slack. Y'all thought y'all were getting slaves back. You had to have thought that. You had to have thought black people were going to be the ones replacing the immigrants, and you would not miss a beat. But when those immigrants fled and those fields became empty and those farms became deserted,
Yep.
then y'all want to run around crying, does anybody care about Nebraska? Does anybody care about Nebraska? No, no, no. Let's go back. What was your thought process as to when the immigrants go, when they deport them, what was your thought process on who was going to come in and pick up that slack?
Yep.
Because 60% of y'all went out there and voted.
They thought it was black people.
So what was that 60% thinking? What was your plan B? For when the immigrants are gone, who was going to come in, step in, and pick up that workload and get your bottom and keep your bottom line moving? What was that thought process? Who were the replacements for the illegal immigrants that you guys would have voted against? Who were the replacements? You guys thought it was going to be black people.
Yeah, they did.
Y'all thought Donald Trump was going to magically make black people appear in y'all farms and in y'all fields to get their work done. Why? I have no idea. Other than he kept saying that they were taking the black jobs. Y'all thought that just because he said that, black people were going to be running down there to them fields? It's absolutely bizarre.
Very bizarre.
You can't convince me y'all put everything, your whole life, y'all whole livelihood, generations of farms being in y'all family.
They brainless.
You can't tell me you put that up at risk and did not have a backup plan. You can't tell me y'all purposely destroyed y'all lives and y'all farms without having a backup plan to replace the illegals. It's just not making sense. But racism never has made sense. Guys, these are some really eye-opening times.
Well, you were going to hell.
And another thing I want to touch on before I leave today, President Musk is really working hard to get up under the black people's skin.
Yep.
He's trying to find a button to push.
They are.
To make us hit them streets.
Mm-hmm.
Now he wants the government to stop funding, to stop the lease for the Obama Museum Library, for the Obama Library. And he also wants the United States government to sell our National Black Museum, one of our National Black Museums. I think it was the Montgomery Boys bus. Something to do with
the
that.
Freedom Bus.
I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see what they're doing?
Trying to get us
When the threat to
cranked up.
pardon Derek Chauvin did nothing. Now they're going for other intricates that they know black people hold near and dear, which is telling us they are going to keep nitpicking and keep nitpicking until they can think they can get us out there. No matter what they do not give them what they're looking for.
We're not going.
I don't care what they do.
We'll fund our own museum.
But it needs to be seen.
We'll fund the president's library. Nope, we're not going out there. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see exactly what I'm saying? These people really think that we are stupid. I mean, they have not learned. We are the smart race, and we ain't that stupid. They playing stupid games for stupid prizes because we are not falling for that stuff. If y'all don't want to fund the Black History Museum or the Freedom Bus, black people will. We'll fund our own stuff. You don't want to fund whatever to President Obama's library. We don't care. We'll fund our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? They act like they doing something to us. Plus, they trying to get us out the streets to protest. They want us out there so bad, so they call martial law. They so mad, and it's irritating them that we haven't done it, and we're not. We're one collective, and we said no. And they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, we can't get these black people to go out in the street. No, y'all can't. Because y'all not. Because we already know what game y'all playing. Because we're not stupid. We the most intelligent people in America. We definitely ain't stupid. Okay? We was intelligent enough to vote for Kamala. And it wouldn't be all this mess. Y'all farmers, y'all old white men, y'all farmers and stuff, y'all voted for having slaves again. That's what y'all voted for. Now you ain't got nobody to get your crops out the ground or work on the farm in 100-degree heat, because the Mexicans are used to 100-degree heat because it's hot in Mexico all year long. Black people ain't going out in no 100-degree heat. Shoot, we was forced to go 400 years ago, but hell, if we gonna volunteer our asses out there, we don't like the heat like that. We might have dark skin, some of us, but we ain't trying to be out there like that. Ain't nobody doing that work. So y'all let that dummy talk y'all into get rid of y'all workers. Y'all let that dummy talk y'all into getting rid of y'all workers, thinking that the black folks is gonna replace these people. Thinking y'all was gonna bring slavery back. That's why we need diversity in America, because without diversity, this is gonna be a third world country fast. We need diversity because white people can't run crap. They never could. And you need diversity because you need some other minds in there. Okay? Because we going down here fast, and the cause of our downfall is white people. And I don't care if you didn't vote for Trump, you're still a white person and you condoning your own white people. Y'all not even marching, y'all not going out there, y'all not putting your own white people in their place. So y'all condoning your own white people. I don't care if you didn't vote for them, you still condoning this mess, from your own people, okay? So, like, y'all sticking together on this mess, then black people sticking together on our mess, okay? So, we ain't going out there and just keep, nitpicking us about when you gonna stop this black thing or that. We don't care, stop it. We're funded ourselves, See, we already made Target lose over $22 million, okay? Keep messing with us, because y'all know where all y'all money come from. And who does all the shopping, who does all the buying, who does all this. Y'all know who it is. Y'all keep messing with us here. Because that's why we buying black. And we gonna stay buying black and keep the money in our own community. Then y'all go figure out how y'all gonna sell y'all goods. Go figure it out, because you ain't gonna sell it to white people because they don't shop like we do. Y'all go figure that out. And then y'all get rid of all the Latinos and stuff. They ain't buying nothing. What they gonna be buying? So I don't know how y'all gonna sell y'all stuff. But that's what y'all want. That's what y'all can get. Okay? So anyway, I'm proud to say I'm a black-owned business. I will be like, I'm a black-owned business, bossladymerch.com. And, if you want to buy from a black-owned business, I do t-shirts. You go to bossladymerch.com and buy from a black-owned business. because I ain't catering to them people. You know, child, please, because they trying to do us right, and they trying to act like they ain't do nothing. We ain't do nothing. Yeah, did. Y'all thought the every time he said they was taking black jobs, y'all thought the black people was gonna come work on the farm when you got rid of the. But what reason would you want to get rid of the immigrants when you know? Oh, I know the reason, because this other farmer said they had to pay like a little premium when they get the illegals to work on their farm. So all about money. They didn't want to pay that premium, so they thought the black people would come take the immigrants' place. And I don't know where they got that thought from. You can't even get. So why is it the black people got to work on the farm? Get your white people to work on the farm. Why y'all so concerned about black people working on the farm? Why can't white people work on the farm? This is what I'm saying. They want to reap the benefits of everything and then don't want to do the work, which is the case for 400 years in America because black people and brown people built America. They ain't build nothing. If you put any of these 20 MAGAs on an island and say, here, build your roads, build your houses, start your farms, none of them could. They're starved to death. Okay, because they don't. So why would you want to get rid of the people that build your houses and your farms, raiding Home Depots in California and craziness? What these people doing? They working at Home Depot. Okay, they real criminals. Oh, I'm a criminal and I'm gonna get me a job at Home Depot. It's some sickening stuff. What the Samsung?